Hello Tomies, DM Dave here, and I want to talk to you about Heroes Wanted. Heroes Wanted provide an online, safe environment moderated by a professional game master for Minecraft games and D&D games. So if you have a child between the ages of 8 and 17, this is the perfect place for them to develop social skills, long-lasting friendships, and all the while unleashing their imagination and completing epic quests. They run 2-hour classes each week for $28 each, and the classes run for 10 weeks. So this is a great opportunity for all kids to get together, share experiences, learn social skills, and learn how to critical think together in a respectful, moderated fashion. Your kids will love these D&D and Minecraft adventures as they travel together with other kids their age. For more information, visit www.heroeswanted.kids. Again, that's www.heroeswanted.kids. You are listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard.
Quill, can you feel that? Can you feel it? There is darkness afoot. Can you see the will-o'-wisps dancing amongst the trees? Something is coming, and by how many of them there are, it's gonna be dangerous. Yikes.
I don't like it. This is not a safe place to be. It's not even a safe place for you. If they find out you're here...
I know what I'm doing, Quill. Those old windbags won't sense me here. There are other powerful people up here to give me cover. I'm perfectly safe. But as you said, it isn't safe for our heroes. It does concern me.
I've never seen you so nervous, Saulum. What concerns you?
Nothing, Quill. Nothing at all. Why don't we get back to the task at hand? Foul creatures approach in Chapter 95. Voodoo.
Hello, Tomies, and welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. I am DM Dave, and to the left I have
Henley.
Voodoo.
Tuck.
Roscoe.
and Fenrir. And before we get started, of course, I have to have a little jokety joke. What do you call a bunch of Barbies standing in a line? A barbecue.
I thought that, but I was like, no, that's if they were like trying, like in a letter or something. I was like, no, that would be barbecue. Oh, I got it. I've heard a different version of that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember the joke for the punchline?
Not well, but it's like what? Basically, it's like there's a letter Q and a Barbie on a grill. What are they?
Oh.
Yeah. It's like,
gotcha.
Yeah. Something like that.
Barbecue. I've heard different versions of that. I like that
I
version.
like that one. Yeah.
All right, Tick. What is our recap for last time?
Well, our ominous overlord. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see what happened last time. Well, we left the village and decided not to go through the woods because the woods is scary and Tick not going into the woods. Nope. And we found a big guy who was holding like a baby, the little person that tried to
to kiss Roscoe, and we slept, and there's lots of weird noises, but I didn't pay any attention. No more weird noises than normal when you sleep with lots of goblins, so it's fine. And now we was being fed weird grey oat. They call it oatmeal. It looks like mush that you get from under your toes. But I'm ready to go. We can go now.
Thank you. And we left off with Swindell answering the call of Fenrir. Hello, Fenrir. Good to hear from you. What brings me this pleasure of hearing your beautiful voice?
Yes, I need information about the whereabouts of Wick Lennox. And he's going to put 10 silver into his ring.
And the 10 silver on the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that ring that 10 silver disappears. Ah, well, yes, Wick Lennox. I don't know if I've heard of this being before. What? Describe to me what you're looking for exactly. What is he to you?
I just need to know where he is right now.
Hmm.
And if possible, where he's headed so I can meet him and talk to him.
Yes, well, it will take me time to do my own little investigation.
Of course.
Do you know, trying to narrow down a few things.
I know that he's been to Glendale and High Ridge, and he's selling scarecrows along the way.
Ah, that is the name of the fellow, is it? I have been keeping tabs on this Wick Lennox. I just couldn't figure out what his name was. That was very, very secretive. Let's see. Let me get back to you and see if I can find that information for you. I know I have a few of my allies looking into the matter.
Perfect. Is that enough silver?
No, but we'll catch up with you once I get more information.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Is there anything else I could do for you and your comrades?
He'll kind of look around. Can we get another ring?
But of course you can. Would you like it unlocked in any certain manner?
Yeah, can we unlock it to level 2?
Level 2, that will give the creature dark vision and
Message.
Alrighty then. So that would be 125 silver, please.
Okay. And he'll take his purse out, start counting, and put in 125 silver.
Excellent. Also, is there any other levels you would like to unlock today?
That should do it for now.
Okay, well, I'll look for that information for you.
I want to go shopping.
Okay.
I just want to use my 3rd level on the ring and see what mysterious shenanigans I can come up with for this adventure.
Okay, because the 3rd level is the random item, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But it was the more I put in, the higher the value item I got out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Something like that.
I'll have to look at where I put that item. Yes, but I believe the first level was like 150 silver, I believe.
Each time?
Yeah.
Scam.
Usually, but
Yeah, that's what you said last time, too.
Yeah.
well, I'm going to do the big one.
Okay,
What?
the 500 one.
Yeah,
If that's the
buddy.
case, we gotta go through the forest.
It sounds like a throwaway.
Probably.
And you get a horse for the day.
Well, he has all the money right now.
Well, if that is all that you need from me, then I will be going and get back to you on when I get that information for you.
Sweet. Thanks, Wendell.
You are welcome. Toodaloo. All right, Roscoe. pull up that list.
D100. Go, go, go.
Sorry, I forgot to do that.
Okay, so you put 500 coins, silver?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a reminder, make sure you deduct that.
Done.
Yeah. Roll me a D100, please.
Should we go with the big clinkers?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever's been rolling
Looks like a 78. Yeah, you get a fishing pole with no string.
No line on it. That'd be so
No, it's a fishing pole with a boot on it.
But it has a magic carp that you can get out of it.
But it
every
has
single day.
+4 to hit. Or it attracts goblins. Tick cannot is a goblin lure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Goes into a trance. That's how you get Tick into the forest.
Sorry if I caught you off guard there, Dave.
Oh, no, you're good. That's part of the random list. I just have to remember my alphabet.
You want another bite?
Huh?
Coconut sugar.
Okay. So with your 500 deposited, an item, it's small enough to fit on your ring, and as you grab it, it grows to a normal size.
Okay.
And it is a potion bottle.
No, potion.
And with it is instructions explaining what the item is.
Okay.
You have received an oil of etherealness. Beads of this cloudy gray oil form on the outside of its container and quickly evaporates. The oil can cover a medium or small creature, along with the equipment it wears and carries. One additional vial is required for any size larger than medium. Apply the oil, takes about 10 minutes. The affected creature then gains the effect of etherealness spell for 1 hour. So let us turn to what the spell etherealness says, shall we? This is exciting. I don't know what this does. I'm sure it's like almost like a invisibility thing.
I bumped my
I
leg.
know what ethereal step does, but I don't know what that one does.
Maybe it's like you turn into like a mist.
You just turn into Galadriel.
Because you can go to the ethereal plane.
I can look it up.
I got it right here.
Okay, never mind.
All right. So, for player knowledge and also for fun things for the fans, this is a 7th level transmutation spell.
7th level?
7th level.
Level up.
And its duration is 8 hours. Okay? You step into the border regions of the ethereal plane in the area where it overlaps with your current plane. You remain in the borders of ethereal for the duration or until you use your action to dismiss the spell. Which I'm going to say, since this is like an oil and stuff, you can't necessarily dismiss it because you rubbed it all over you.
I think it said it lasted an hour.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it did. So it doesn't last the 8 hours, just an hour.
Boo.
During this time, you can move in any direction. You can move up or down. Every foot of movement costs an extra foot. So it's almost like difficult terrain, it sounds like. You can see and hear the plane of your original form you originated from, so you can still hear your comrades. But everything looks gray, and you cannot see anything more than 60 feet away. While on the ethereal plane, you can only affect and be affected by other creatures on that plane. So you couldn't affect your comrades, you couldn't affect anything in the material plane. And nobody else can see you in this plane. You kind of disappear into this other plane, but you can see everybody else. but it's all a gray hue. You ignore all objects and effects that aren't on the ethereal plane, allowing you to move through objects you perceive on the plane of your original form. Originally from. And then when the spell finally ends, you reappear in the location that you're at. So if you, for example, adventure into the woods, you can kind of go free reign into the woods. Trees don't affect you and whatnot, but you can see the trees around you. But once the spell ends, you're in the middle of the forest.
So if I'm, let's say, passing through a wall and the spell ends, I'm stuck in the middle of the wall.
You're stuck in the wall, yep. If you occupy the same space of a solid object or creature, when this happens, you are immediately shunted to the nearest occupied space, so you do not get stuck in the wall. Thank you, Zeb, for catching that, because that would have been kind of fun.
Or you can DM rules, like, you don't have to follow that, right?
That you can occupy and take force damage equal to twice the number of feet you are moved. So you could take damage on that.
And so what is this called again?
Etherealness. And just a reminder, the vial will disappear within a 24-hour period.
Seems so dumb.
So what if he takes the vial and pours it into another vial?
You'll have to find out.
Yeah, would the vial itself just disappear and then you have the spell?
Be interesting, huh?
Knowing Swindell, though.
Tick as a jar you can use. Frog friend can
Put it on the frog. Where'd Talk go?
Taco.
Where did Talk go?
Wow.
Okay, so you have an oil of etherealness.
Better make use of it in the next 24 hours. Yeah. So you
Hey,
could get it
it's-
out in a good magic item for $500 to keep forever.
It's the beginning of the day, though, so it's okay.
It's true. Bad mistakes.
Mistakes
happens in
were
the morning.
made.
Whenever you work with Swindle, it's bad mistakes.
That's not true.
I'm going to save this argument for post-show.
Okay, you guys, now morning, Fenrir has explained his situation about the scarecrows. Are you guys ready to travel?
Yes.
Okay, off we go. So, Henley and Roscoe, the group, but Henley and Roscoe, the closer you get, the more you recognize this area as you follow the tree line. You see the old halfling trading path that goes into the forest. What do you guys do?
Keep walking.
Yeah, and Boudreaux keeps walking, too.
Okay.
Walking along
Just along the border.
just along the border? Okay.
What?
You can,
No, he follows Roscoe.
because you can.
Yeah,
Make an argument to go in.
I could.
Okay.
I asked Roscoe. I thought we were going in.
We will after we get to Mapleshire.
But that's not going into the forest.
It will be after we get to Mapleshire.
But then we're just going in Mapleshire.
We're
You
gonna
okay?
go into the forest after we get to Mapleshire.
I'm not following.
We need to recruit more people. We need to recruit more people to help us in the forest. If we're truly going to deal with 3 hags, we're going to need all the help we can get. So we're going to go to Mapleshire, get Ivan Silenor, and then we're going to go fight the hags.
And you think they're going to want to do that? Because I don't think they will.
Well, if they decide not to, then we'll go on without them.
All right.
Right, Roscoe?
Right. Mapleshire, forest. To Mapleshire, into forest.
Yeah, okay.
Draw a little picture in the dirt. So see, this is the forest. This is Mapleshire. We're going to go up here. We're going to say hi to people, get a good night's rest. And then we're going to go this way into the forest.
Oh, Mapleshire's in the middle of the forest.
It's next to the forest.
So we're out of the forest.
It's beyond the forest.
So then we're going to go back in the forest like Fenrir said.
Eventually, yes.
Don't talk in riddles. It ain't funny. I don't speak that great a common.
I'm going to turn and
That's the first
walk
math
off.
thing anybody said all day.
Okay, you guys continue along the ridgeline.
Oh, we'll miss the Druid Tree. Okay.
You know, we could go in.
Are you deaf as well as not speaking well? No. If you want to die, you go in forest.
I mean, Henley almost died and she didn't die.
No, she just went into a bug.
What is this you're talking about? She's obviously fine. You're just being not thinking through things. Do you want to die before you be able to do any good? No, don't go into the forest. Problem solved. You go get more friends.
I can tell you about the Druid Tree.
The
Boudreaux?
Boudreaux tree?
No, the Druid Tree on our way.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, I would actually like that. I'm sorry, I'm grumpy.
You're always grumpy with me.
I am?
Unless you're talking about me getting eaten by a bug.
I'm just Finny, I'm mad at you, by the way. But I'll be mad at you as we're walking. Because you guys take too long for everything.
Henley keeps leading the way past the trail.
Talking about the tree?
Yes.
Cool.
All right, tell us about this tree.
So the Druid Tree is the biggest tree in this forest, and it's like connected to all the other plants in the forest. And you can put your hands on it and tell it a secret. Or ask it a question, and sometimes it answers back. It's never happened to me before, but some say it's magical. But the story behind the tree is that the druid fell in love with a halfling. And they lived a long, happy life together, but the halfling died, and the druid was basically lived forever and decided to plant her roots next to Mapleshire and grew into a tree. And she protects Mapleshire. If you climb to the top of the tree, which I have before, it's really, really tall, and you can see Mapleshire at the very top.
Oh.
And it's taller than all the trees of the forest.
Oh, that's cool. I talked to the plants back this morning, I mean. You ever done that?
No, I haven't.
They-
I don't have magic that can talk to plants or animals.
Well, you kind of did, though. You talked to the tree.
Well, I asked it a question, but it didn't answer me.
Oh. That's okay.
But it did help me grow more flowers.
Cool. They were telling me about the monsters in there. They're saying that people die, but they grow, they come back to life because of the givers. What was the name? The caregiver. No, they just said the givers, right? Caretakers.
They called, so there was creatures like you, they said, that would go in there and die, but then they would come back to life. And they said that their own kind would die
Come back to life.
and come back to life and by the caretaker.
Oh, they did say the caretaker. Okay. So I tell that to Henley.
Oh. That sounds like necromancy.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Depends on how you use it.
Well, that's true. I guess the necromancer in Nevilton was doing something.
Nope. He just bad.
What necromancy is good then, Boudreaux?
The healing kind.
Explain.
I've heard of people being able to take like some of their own, like, you know, when someone real hurt and you can like take some of like, I could take some of like my life essence thing, word thing, and then I can heal you, but it hurts me. Like, that's good. It's a choice though.
But the necromancer said it was a choice for them to come back.
Yeah, but they didn't really choose to come back, did they? He just rose them up from the ground, and then they came back, and now he has to find a way to give them peace. And I'm not saying the peace thing is bad, but they would come back anyway if Kundas, if he would have just left him alone.
Okay, I'm confused.
So when you die, Kundas makes you into another creature or thing, so you can learn your next lesson in life. But if he would have left their souls alone and not called them back from Kundas, then they would have been able to move on. Every life we have, we learn something. More than one thing. But there's something that we have to learn in that life, and then we got to move on to the next so we can learn what's next.
Well, I hope I come back as something that has a peaceful life next time.
Yeah. Well, Mama... Nope. Uncle Popcorn and... Yeah, Mama. It was Mama. No, it's my mom. Rewind. Well, I saw Uncle Popcorn and my mother come back as a deer. I really thought it was going to be a boar, though.
That's sweet.
And this can continue as we go.
keep going.
No, that was fine. That was a good
The conversation was still as you guys were walking.
Right.
But no, that was a good end, yeah. Unless she has something to say.
Nope.
Okay. So going this direction, like I said, is going to take you about a week and a half. When you guys get, let's see, we'll say that you guys have been traveling for about 4 days now. We'll say 5. 5 days now. And each time you guys make a rest, the forest seems to be a little more daring. A lot of those flashing lights and stuff. But Boudreaux, you just go to sleep every time. Every time it does tick. You don't take any watches, just like Boudreaux. Okay. So those who do take watch, you notice that those lights that light up in there every now and then, they seem to get closer and closer to camp every night. And every time you notice one, it seems to disappear and then go into the forest. One night, you heard a big, loud female scream deep in the forest. There's other nights that you can see, like, almost like those bright lights that you've been seeing flashing, like almost a taller figure of that seems almost humanoid-ish, kind of just go along the tree edge, and when it goes behind a tree, it disappears. Kind of late dusk, early morning, you can see other creatures out there, like a light would light up, and it would light up a creature's face. Sometimes it looked like almost a zombie. There's been other times that it looked like some kind of fowl creature on fours. Some of it's standing up.
So, just to clarify, when you say it's lighting up the faces, is this showing basically like that creature is standing there
At the edge of the
at the edge
forest.
of the forest, and that light is lighting up a physical creature that's standing there, or is it kind of emulating the face of that?
It's lighting up the face of the creature.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's even been occasion that one's popped up, and the creature it lights up kind of takes a swipe at it, and as it swipes, the light goes out.
There was even one with a long nose.
Very possible.
Yeah.
But Boudreaux wouldn't know because
I sleep.
he's sleeping. Okay. Is there any conversations that would like to go on as we're going on with Delvin, with Hurla, or amongst yourselves, or even Keth?
No.
You guys just trugging along?
Yeah.
Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard Mid-Show Break. I am Rupert Bumpkin. Thank you for listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. If you wish to support us, visit us on ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard, where you may become a member of our Ko-Fi. There, you can receive special content, such as post-shows, DM deep dives, and exclusive merchandise, such as t-shirts and keychains. There, you may also donate to the Feed the Cast funds, a special way to thank them by buying them dinner for the night. Yum, yum! Other ways you can support us is by sharing us with your friends and family and on social media. Spreading the word about the Tomes of the Chaos Bard is a huge help, and we thank you for your help. Another way you can support us is through 5-star reviews. And with every 5-star review, Saulum the Chaos Bard will give you a shout-out on our Saulum's columns. So stay tuned for those. That is all, folks, and back to the show.
Okay. So about the 7th day, you guys are about 3 to 4 days away from Mapleshire. You begin at this particular night. Who is on the first watch?
Me.
Roscoe.
I imagine it's just the same rotation. Me, Henley.
Henley Delvin.
Henley usually likes the first watch, but she lets Roscoe have it.
On this particular night, it's almost near the end of your watch, and you see a bunch of these lights. They come kind of swirling. There seems to be about 5 of them, and they come kind of swirling out, kind of in a circle. They're spinning in a circle as they're twirling out, and they seem to be coming towards you. There's a mix between blues and yellows and reds and greens as they swirl, and they seem to be changing color. So like it'd be blue once, and then it would change green, and then it would change yellow. So they're all flashing different lights, and they'll come out of the forest about 10 feet, then go back into the forest another 10 feet, and this whole time they're lighting up all these different creatures in the forest.
Do I get like a sense that this might be the appropriate time to wake up the rest of my team?
That is up to you.
Can I roll? I don't like perception, maybe, just to see, because we've been seeing them gradually increase and get closer over the last week.
Mm-hmm.
This one does feel a little different, though.
Correct.
See if I can see any sign that might lead. Hey, this is gonna end bad for us, or they're just being wild. I don't know, like any sign of potential aggression, I guess. I don't know if that's perception or maybe insight or.
Roll me insight. I'll go with perception or insight.
We'll go with insight because it's far better than my perception. It's a 17.
Okay. You do notice that you kind of seem to have the floating lights spinning around, right? Almost playful, right? They're just spinning around. They seem no aggression, but there's a few of the most of the creatures in there, they're just either staring out, not paying attention to looking at you type idea. But there is a few of them in there that almost small creatures. They kind of remind you of halflings or small children, but they look doll-like. Look like a stuffed, like like a voodoo doll type look. And they seem very, just as, the light passes their face, some of them have eyes, other ones have just like empty sockets. A lot of their faces, a lot of their body is stitched up as whatnot, and things like that. And they seem they are out of the forest. And as those kind of lights spin around, as it passes, you can see several of these creatures step out of the forest.
Okay. I'm bring up my shield and my hammer and casually just, hey guys, and wake everyone up.
Okay.
What's going on, Roscoe?
You might want to come look for yourself.
And as you guys look out, Tick is about 50 feet away, so you don't know, unless you yell or something.
Well, Tick's got a ring now, right?
Yes, Tick does have a ring.
So
Whether Tick is wearing said ring, that is a Tick question.
I'm gonna look at Fenny and say, get Tick up and get him over here.
I will whisper into the ring and see what happens.
What happens, Tick?
Nothing.
Okay. I will start shouting for Tick.
That doesn't mean he's not wearing it. It's just that you get no response.
Henley grabs her bow and stands next to Roscoe. Are they within range to shoot at, and are they aggressive?
Well, we're only 30 feet from the edge of the forest anyway, right?
Yep. And everybody, it has dark vision, except for would be Delvin. He wouldn't necessarily see anything. So at the edge of the clearing, you see about 10 of these little voodoo-like dolls come out. And they're kind of ranging from size. They range from like a foot tall to about 3 feet tall. Is the different sizes of these creatures.
But I can see them.
Yes, you can see them.
And they're moving toward us.
They're just standing there.
Okay. They're not being aggressive.
Yeah, but they've been moving this way since I started hollering at you guys. And they're definitely not. Can I
Fenrir's gonna go up
and shake their hand?
Well, hello.
to within about 10 feet of the forest. 10 feet of the lights, 10 feet of these creatures.
Okay, these creatures are about 10 feet out of the forest.
Oh, they're already out of the forest.
Yes.
Okay, then he will move 10 feet away from them.
So 10 feet, you're pretty much 10 feet away from the group, 10 feet away from them.
Kind of in the middle of everybody.
Correct.
Yes, and he's gonna are you friend or foe?
And almost...
do you want us to follow you? Sorry.
Fenrir, are you
What sort of
crazy?
question
We don't
is
want
that?
almost in unison, all their heads cocked to the left a little bit. Just their heads just fall to their left shoulder. Unnaturally, right? It goes a lot farther than they should. All in unison. Boom. And you see those those like 5 swirling lights that were there, they stop and they swirl back, and it kind of, each light kind of lines up in the middle of each 10. Does that make sense? So one light's in between a set, like one, another light's in between one and the other. So they're all being kind of illuminated. Then all the lights themselves, they turn like a red, and they just flare towards you as these creatures let out like a vicious and start coming after you.
Hey, why
Okay, now we'll start shooting.
why didn't we do this episode for Halloween?
Yes, Voodoo.
Does Boudreaux know these?
You would know these lights. You have seen these lights before.
Yay.
You know them as will-o-wisps.
Yeah.
And will-o-wisps are tricky,
Mm-hmm.
because will-o-wisps can be a light of hope. They can be tricky creatures. The rumor has it, stories have it, that sometimes a will-o-wisp is created to help guide a loved one as they're trying to find their way home. There's also been ones that they're evil creatures that lead you to traps. There's stories that they serve evil creatures, so they can serve hags, they serve necromancers, they serve evil creatures that way. Any powerful evil creature. Sometimes those evil creatures create them, sometimes they're created by just pure malice. Just really depends on the will-o-wisp. But generally, you would know them as evil creatures.
But I do not know the ragdoll thing.
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, these ones you have no idea
Okay.
what these are.
Sounds good.
Okay. With that, let's roll initiative.
3.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that we were rolling a d6, and so it's gonna, Abby, that's a pretty standard roll for you.
Wait, so
Oh yeah, to remind everybody, this is group initiative. The listeners, for those who are maybe new to this and haven't listened to the rest of our episodes, group initiative, and it's been a while since we've done a little combat battle.
We talk a lot.
Just to remind everybody, group initiative is I break it up into 2 groups, bad guys, good guys. We roll a d6 for initiative, and one of the players rolls. I roll for the bad guys. Whoever gets the highest out of a d6 gets to go first. After both teams have gone, there's another initiative roll, so one team could possibly go twice in one round. So it could be an advantage or a disadvantage depending on who wins the roll. Okay, so
Good guys win the first one.
Good guys win the first one. What do you do?
Well, Henley is shooting at him.
Oh, also with group initiative, they get to choose what order they go and decide what they do. So what is your order that you guys decide to do?
Henley.
Fenrir.
Roscoe.
And Tick. And
And-
everybody else.
Keth, Hurla, and
Delvin.
For some reason, I wrote Keth down twice. Yes, we got a Delvin there.
So, I mean, is twice as likely to hit or twice as likely to die.
No, his brother showed up.
Twoo. Very, very twoo.
His brother showed up.
Okay,
Okay,
Henley.
we have a barbarian.
go ahead and take your actions. What are you doing, by the way?
Oh, I am shooting my bow.
Bang, bang. I mean,
That's a 19 plus 7.
all right.
That's a miss.
Okay, so
And we bravely ran away.
We disengage
Okay.
and we run away.
to remind you of the scenery, right? The little voodoo dolls are beginning to run towards you guys. The orbs, the light orbs, were ahead of them quite a distance. They're very fast. They're getting heading out first, and then the other voodoo dolls are close behind them.
I'm going to try and shoot at one of the quicker voodoo dolls.
Okay. So the orbs are kind of in the front line, and the voodoo dolls are behind them. But they're staggered enough. You could still shoot a voodoo doll. I was just letting you know. Orbs are first. Voodoo dolls are behind them.
I think Henley's like, oh, the orbs will light it up so Delvin can see. So she used to not be able to see in the dark. So she's like, oh, they'll light up the way.
Convenient.
Yes, convenient. So that's a 19 plus 7.
Okay, that's a hit.
And another 19 plus 7. And on one of my attacks, I use Planar Warrior and do an extra D8 force damage. Oh, yeah. That's 23 force damage.
Nice.
So that's 2 arrows. Pew, pew.
Mm-hmm. Both arrows for a total of 25?
23, yeah.
Okay. What was the first set of damage, though?
14.
Okay. So your first arrow hits one of the voodoo dolls. Are you hitting one of the end voodoo dolls, or are you hitting more of one of the middle?
I'm
voodoo
hitting,
dolls?
like, one of the ones that's ahead in the pack. Like, or one of the taller ones. You said there were some that were, like, closer to 1 feet and 3 feet.
Correct. I gotta decide on where they're located. Which is fine. I'll say that you shot, let's say the 9th one.
Okay.
So it has 2 on each side.
That's Bill.
So you see that voodoo doll that you hit. The arrow like goes through it, and it kind of like explodes into like a very dust-like thing. And as it explodes, you see other pieces of it hit the 2 next to it, and they kind of stagger and take some damage.
Oh. They're explosive. Roscoe, did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of dice.
So as the middle one explodes, right? Poof. Parts of it almost seems like there's little pieces of it that hit other things. It turns into a dust ball. And from the dust as it settles, you see 4 more of these creatures rise from the dust. And then from the 10th one that it hit, you see that it like staggers and pieces of it falls off, and 4 more come from it. So now there was 10, then there was 9, now there's 8 more, so now there's 17
Are they the
of
same
these
size?
creatures. The same size as the one that was destroyed. That's 4 of them. The one on the side, the one that got hit but not dead, those 4 are almost copy images.
Roscoe, are you seeing this?
Yep.
Henley is starting to get nervous. But she shoots her second arrow.
At just one of them.
Yeah, just one.
Okay, what's your damage for that?
9.
Okay. That one is still standing. Okay, Fenrir. You see exactly what has been described. So instead of there being 10, there's now 17.
And there's orbs flying above them.
They're
Like illuminating them.
they're above them, but they are coming towards you. They're not staying with. As of right now, you can't tell what's going to happen, but as of right now, they seem about 5 feet off the ground, and they're heading towards you. the group, you.
They're ahead of the dolls. Like in front of the dolls, I thought.
Correct.
Okay. Fenrir's going to take. He wants to move back 20. So he was up 10 feet in front of the dolls.
Correct.
He's now going to move 25 feet back. So he'll be 35 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to cast Mirror Image.
Okay.
Now, we'll do spell time for the listeners.
Spell time.
I'm using the legacy version. So I know a new book just came out not too long ago, but we're still using the legacy as of.
The 2014 rules.
That may change in the future, but right now.
Right now, that's where I'm sticking with it, yeah.
So 3 duplicates of myself appear in my space. Until the spell ends, the duplicates move with me and mimic my actions, shifting position so it's impossible to track which image is real. Each time a creature targets me with an attack, I have to roll a d20 to determine whether your attack instead targets one of my duplicates. A creature is unaffected by this spell if it can't see, if it relies on senses other than sight, such as blind sight, or if it can perceive illusions as false, as with true sight.
Okay.
I don't know if that matters. I don't think I've ever read that.
Yeah.
but I
Thank
don't
you
know if
for
that
letting me know.
matters With the
We'll find
orbs
out,
or-
won't we?
yeah, so yeah, that's what he does.
Okay, mirror image. There are now 4 Fenrirs. There. And was that an action for that spell?
Yeah, yep, that's my action. I'm gonna be it.
Okay, but you are back with the group.
Yes, I'm now taking a step back. Fenrir, he's
Because you moved 20 feet, so you're now 10 feet behind the group.
okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah. So yeah, he's trying to move back enough to like. He is afraid of dying at this point.
Gotcha.
So he's
Okay,
still
he's
gonna
10.
try to help, but he's staying back.
He's like, I am going to be back here.
Yep.
Okay, who is next?
It's me. Do I know, like, are these things considered creatures?
They are considered creatures. That's a general term for everything, yeah.
Okay, perfect. How far? If I'm shooting for a 20-foot radius
Okay.
to include as many of the spirity creature things
Mhm.
and creepy creature things,
Okay.
where would I aim?
So, and this is a point you can designate, or is
Yes.
this 20 radius around you?
No, it's a point I can designate.
Okay. So you can get, if it's 20-foot radius, they're all about 5 feet apart. So you can hit 4 of the voodoo dolls
Okay.
and probably about 3 of the orb things.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that, but I gotta roll 5d8.
What is going on? Explain to me what your spell is. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
So I'm gonna try and put a bunch of them to sleep.
Okay.
So spell time. The spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within the range are affected in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring unconscious creatures. Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends. If the sleeper takes damage or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake. So basically, I'm going to roll 5d8. I'm going to have a pool of hit points,
Okay.
whatever that is. We're going to start with the lowest denomination, whatever creature in that bubble that has the lowest hit
The
points.
lowest HP. Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go sleep, and then it will just work up until I run out of points.
Okay.
What's the name of that spell?
Sleep.
Oh. Okay. Apt.
And they have to roll a save of some kind?
No,
Okay.
nope. So that it's the duration is a minute.
Mhm.
So they're asleep for a minute, but it's only based on the amount of points that I have.
The HP.
Yeah. We're gonna use Sauron here. We're gonna use the Clinker. We're gonna use the Mini. I'm gonna use these two. This sounds good.
Is this radiant damage you said?
No, this is sleeping damage.
Oh, I knew that. That makes more sense.
That's 11, 17, 21, 26.
Okay. As you cast this spell, and you envelop about 7 creatures, seems to be unaffected by this spell.
What?
My turn.
Why?
Aw.
Interesting question, isn't
They
it?
don't go to sleep, obviously.
Yeah, but they're creatures, so they should.
What kind of
they?
creatures? Don't know.
Well, but it doesn't say any specific kind of creature. It says creature.
But they may be a specific creature that don't need sleep.
Doesn't matter if they need sleep. I'm putting them to sleep. Go.
Okay.
He's so mad.
Sleeping is a risk. You might not wake up. If I may.
You may.
Boudreaux has fought these before, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know anything?
You know they are pretty difficult to hit, so using a spell like you did, where it's a con save of some kind,
Yeah.
is a good kind of thing to do. Trying to hit it is really hard
Okay.
to do it. They are not creatures that will necessarily fight.
I am going to use spell time. Planet growth. Spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area. I cast the spell using one action, and I choose a point within range, and all the plants within 100-foot radius centered on that point become thick and overgrown. A creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves.
I have a question in regards, a clarifying question in regards to that. So, her little plant friend said that some of the plants, right, were killed and then basically brought back to life, like undead. Would that affect them and make them grow?
That is unknown.
Okay.
Unknown to you guys.
So I do that. So wherever the...
And how long was the distance again?
It's a
100.
100-foot radius.
100 feet.
Yeah, and I can exclude, it says, one or more areas of any size within the spell area from being affected. So
What's
wherever we are,
What's the spell area?
150 feet,
Is that the
That's
spell?
as far as
That's
you
the-
can
probably
cast
the
it.
range.
Where's the...
100-foot radius, centered on a
Oh,
point.
it's a big spell because we got 5th level. Is it 3rd level?
Yeah.
And this is just makes it difficult terrain. But
Yeah.
you said for every 4 foot. What was that again?
Every 1 foot of movement they want to move requires 4 feet of
Through
movement.
the air, a creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot that it moves.
So you could ping it farther back from you, or like
Yeah, so
way far
I'm
ahead
going
of
to
you.
pin it from the make it so that they have to travel through it the most possible.
So you could do.
And
the
then
tree line.
if that, which I would assume we are a part of that area, I
Right.
exclude us.
Okay. So the plants and stuff around you guys don't grow thick,
Yeah.
but everything in front of you guys does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I yell,
Ah,
the wisps, the glow things, they ain't gonna hurt ya.
Cheers.
because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but generally they don't.
Oh, I say, they probably won't hurt ya.
Okay, so I am gonna move 40 feet closer
closer to the group. And I'm going to take a shot with my crossbow. My hand crossbow.
Do you have 40 feet of movement?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Sure do.
That means you can move 80.
Speedy McGee.
The Rug.
Yep.
The Rouge.
Right. Okay, so...
And you are shooting just one of the
Yeah.
voodoo dolls.
I want to specifically try and aim, because of the dark vision, I'm assuming that I saw, like, the thing go down and then multiply, right?
The one doll.
His dark vision is only...
It's up 60 feet.
So you wouldn't have been able to see it.
If I was 50 feet away?
You were 50 feet away from the group,
Right.
not away from... Like, diagonal-wise, it was at the very end of the group.
Yeah, you would.
Well, so, like, okay, I guess we need
Yes,
to determine
we'll
where
say that,
I was
yes.
at. Because if I was, like, farther back away from the forest, probably not. But if I was, like, up closer forest and just farther away from them, I don't see why I wouldn't have seen
I'll
it.
say you said it. You'd see it.
Okay.
You're fine.
I want to try and specifically try and target one of the ones that popped up
Okay.
afterwards. 21.
Okay, that's a hit.
And then it's 8 damage.
You see that one go poof as well. But nothing happens from it.
Okay, and then I want to try and do a bonus action that use the nimble escape, where it's I can take the disengage or hide action as a bonus action on each of your turns.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to try and hide if I can.
Yes. So go ahead and make me a stealth check. And you can do it as at advantage.
To 19.
Okay, you are able to be hidden.
Perfect.
Okay. Kath, it is now his turn, which he was told to stay back,
Yep, just hang out
Okay.
with me.
hang with you. So he'll ready in action. Delvin will do the same thing. He'll kind of hang back. Hurla is next to Kath, and she's going to try and do her magic crossbows. Go, Hurla! I'm just kidding. For the listeners, I just gave Evan an evil smile. But okay, both of her attacks hit. And she's going for ones kind of more in the center, near, straight in front of her. Okay, so she's able to hit one of the centers, we'll say number 5. And that one explodes, affecting the ones next to it. So from the one that explodes, it hits the ones next to it. But those ones keep stable. Nothing happens to it. But the one that exploded, 4 more pop up. Or sorry,
400.
only 3 of these pop up. And this one exploded differently. Like the other one exploded kind of like a dust. Like where this one was kind of more like a smoke kind of evaporation. Still damaging the ones next to it, though. It is now these creatures' turn. So their whole turn, everybody's whole turn of the bad guys, they're scrounging through this high plant growth. They only are able, and you can tell they're struggling. So you can tell you guys would be, okay, this plant growth is thicker now. Something's hindering their movement.
And Boudreaux dabs.
The orbs, or as Boudreaux would know, the will-o-wisps, they kind of fly around erratically. Is kind of what they're doing.
How long does that last?
think it just stays. Like, I don't think it changes.
His casting time is special. If you
Doesn't really
cast
give
the
a
spell
duration.
over 8 hours, it...
But that's if I do that.
Yeah.
'Cause I read that part.
Yeah, it doesn't give a time.
I think, because
It just stays that way.
I think it just stays that way, like, for real, in my opinion. Because, like it says, if I cast it for the 8 hours...
episodes later, we're coming back this way, and suddenly it's like, and suddenly you hit some rough terrain.
What happened?
Yeah.
That'd be a good callback. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is no
it doesn't-
duration.
And it's not concentration. That is a great spell.
Thank you.
Okay. It's initiative time again.
Me!
Yep, it is you.
1d6.
Yes. I got a 5.
I got you.
All right.
Oh, no.
So congratulations, they move another 5 feet. So now they are 20 feet away from you guys.
Well, that gives us some time to figure this out.
You guys are just like, what do we do now?
I think,
Okay.
Do we run away?
I think we just have lunch. What do you guys think?
I vote we run away.
What do you guys do?
I say same initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah,
make
that's
sense.
fine.
We just attack them and
Yeah.
See what happens.
yeah. Attack the big ones, make them explode, and all the tiny ones, and then destroy all the tiny ones. I don't know.
You said they're 20 feet
I
away.
mean, only if you were paying attention.
They're 20 feet away now, yes.
Okay, well, we're good.
Yeah,
I
we're good.
guess so.
Forward.
That was the fastest planning meeting we've had to date.
Same
That-
initiative.
18 plus 7.
Okay.
10 plus 7, so 17.
And you're attacking ones that haven't been
Exploding.
exploded yet.
Yes.
Okay.
That's 16 damage
Okay, that one. Pff.
and 14.
And that one. Pff. So as these ones explode, boom, boom, they are able to take out a few of the smaller ones that spawned earlier. However, there are now 9 new ones
9.
that raise. 23 of these creatures now.
Okay. So all Fenrir knows at this point is
Mhm.
that we keep attacking and they keep multiplying. And you said they're like wisps? Do they look like dancing lights?
Yeah.
Very
Is that
similar.
a similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Fenrir he doesn't know anything about the
I-
wisps.
I did yell out.
You yelled out that they won't hurt us.
They probably won't hurt you.
Probably won't hurt us. These guys are exploding. Fenrir is going to, on the wisp, he wants to cast Dispel Magic on one of them.
Okay.
He doesn't know what's going on. It says, so spell time. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. So he's going to choose one of the wisps.
Mm-hmm.
Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends. So does anything happen to the wisp as I cast Dispel Magic?
Nothing happens.
Okay.
So is that the only thing you're going to do, Fenrir?
Yeah, after doing that, he'll kind of call out, like, just say something real quick, like, what do you want? He doesn't know what's going on. He's trying to figure it out. There's like 4 of us. Like, there's 4 of me now saying that. This is the image. And nothing happens, nothing happens.
Okay. It almost seems like a whisper in your head when you say, what do you want? And they, almost in unison, there's like a misty, echoey whispers in your head. And it's like, their souls, their souls, their souls, their souls.
Okay. I still have no idea what's going on.
He didn't say they are souls. He said their
Their souls.
souls.
But who's them? Like me?
Yeah.
Like us?
You already have
there?
your soul, bro.
But like, or is it like their souls, like the guys that are exploding?
They don't want theirs.
All I heard was their souls. What do you want me to do?
Take them.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Oh, they're right there.
Roscoe, you are now up.
Okay, so I think I know what I'm going to end up doing, but I'm going to ask this question first. The grass visibly grew in front of me, right?
Correct.
And it's not greener on the other side.
Oh, it's greener.
But it's
What?
thicker, and you can tell that it has really hindered the movement of those creatures coming.
So my question is...
Yes.
Is it dry grass? Is it green grass?
Green grass.
Is it shrubberies?
And the
It's
green
green grass and
goes all
weeds.
around, and the green grass
Yeah, it's
grows
very
all around.
thick, luscious green grass.
So...
And weeds.
Okay, that answers that question. Okay, I was going to light it on fire, but I don't think that would take. Well, since they're just hobbling their way at us, I'm going to throw some daggers, because that's all I've got until they're close. So... I'm going to use the little guy today. It's an 17 to hit
That is a hit.
for the first one. Oh, and I'm aiming specifically at ones... Do we have any left that have not
Everyone that... No, there's still some of the original 10 up.
Okay, so I'm aiming for those guys.
Yeah. Okay.
What is wrong with you?
I just want to get it all on the field and be done with it. And then my second hit was a 22.
22. That's a hit as well.
Good. That's 5 damage for the first dagger.
Okay, that one's still alive.
Okay, so I'm going to throw my second dagger at that guy. It's going to be 7 damage.
Okay, that one. But it seems like nothing happened. There was no respawns.
It's dead.
Like no explosion or anything?
It explodes, but when it explodes, there's no. The ones next to it don't do anything, and from its lack of a better term, ashes,
No more pop out.
no more pop out.
It's kind of dumb that I can't smite something from a distance.
You have to be within 5
Ranged
feet?
smite. Where's
Yeah,
my
'cause
range?
It's based on a melee attack.
My turn.
Oh, okay.
I'm so excited.
Boudreaux, it is your turn.
David,
Yes.
I'm your favorite, right?
Depending on the day.
Got it. So
You
I'm
can't
gonna.
say that. His wife's sitting right there.
Well, I'm gonna cast Spike Growth,
Okay.
which means I make the ground in a 20-foot radius is centered on a point within range, twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
Hold on, wait. So is it extra, like double difficult terrain? Does that make it impassable? Or is it just moot and just makes everything super sharp and pointy?
I mean, it makes sense to me that it would double.
This is invisible, right?
This one is not necessarily invisible.
I think we made it invisible last time.
The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the point the time the spell was casted has to roll to see if they can see it.
You are definitely not his favorite right now.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to rule this because I know we're going to go with temporary hit points. I know it's different, but I know with the rule of temporary hit points, you can't have double up on temporary hit points. So with movement, I would almost say that it doesn't double up on the lack of movement.
That's fine.
But they still have to do some kind of
Damage.
a damage thing to them.
That's what really matters.
So it's only becomes difficult terrain instead of your
It was already
4 foot. But difficult terrain's only half the speed. It doesn't like quarter the speed like her other spell did. So those ones will be able to move faster.
But But the grass is still there.
Not in the area where the spike growth is.
So the
You're
spike,
replacing-
the 20-foot spike growth is superseding the grass.
Because it's the second one that was cast.
So it's going to pop up as spikes in that area, and then the perimeter outside of the spikes will still remain the high grass.
Correct.
Well, this is a 20-foot, so it would take all of them that were there.
In that 20-foot area, they're spread out kind of in a little line-ish. So you would be able to, so in a 20-foot radius, right, you would be able to, and there's little spawns, and those spawns I'm having them be swarms, these extra spawns that pop
Yeah.
out. So you could end up hitting about 10 of these
Okay.
in a 20-foot radius.
Fine. I guess that's satisfying.
And how much damage do they have to take?
They take 2d4. Do you want to do it? Or me?
You can do it. And so this is, when you cast it, they take damage, or is when they move?
When they move through it.
Okay, so they haven't moved through it yet.
Okay.
Just remind me when it comes. When the morning comes. Okay, is there anything else you would like to do, Boudreaux?
No.
Okay. Moving right along. Tick!
I am going to pop out from a hiding spot
Yep.
and
Abu.
shoot at one of them.
Okay.
Do I get sneak attack on that? Maybe? Or no?
Sneak attack is pretty much anytime you get advantage, and things that are hidden do get advantage on attacks. So yes.
Okay. Perfect. 19 to hit,
Okay, that's a hit.
and then it's 15 damage on one of the ones that had been hit already. That's like,
One of the main ones. The originals or a spawn?
no, a spawn.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably from the same group that I hit last time.
Okay. Yep, that one poofs. And
And then
no other things come up.
Sweet. And then I would like to hide again. Use my
Okay, go ahead and make it stealth.
22.
Okay, you are hidden.
Perfect.
Keth stays. Delvin stays. Hurla takes some shots. Poor shots. Both of them miss.
She's too distracted by Rascal right there.
Biting her lip. Those were some nice knives he just thrown. No, she's a little scared at the moment.
Yeah.
She's not
like the
liking what's
poops.
going on. Okay, it is now initiative time.
Tick, 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 tick.
3.
5.
Aha, you guys are first. Henley, you are up.
Yay. 9.
That is a miss.
You need rough terrain for your dice.
I do, but... And another 2. So both those arrows miss.
I think it's time to retire that dice for the night.
Oh, I'm scared the other dice aren't going to do much better.
Okay. Fenrir.
So before Fender does something, you tell me this is my action.
Mhm.
By this point, he's kind of worked out that he's talking about my soul, right? And so he's going to say, "Are you sure you want my soul? It's tainted by your forest."
So are you saying this out loud? Because
Mhm.
what they said was like in your head.
Okay, then I'll say to him. I mean, if I want them to hear me,
Mm-hmm. So you could say it out loud if
so
you want.
yeah, I would say it out loud.
Okay. So the same kind of voice, they will say, "Claimed is your soul. Theirs is not. Theirs is not. Theirs is not. Theirs is not."
Okay. So was that enough words to be my action or not?
I would have it be your bonus action.
Bonus action. Perfect. Okay, with that being said, now I know it's when they're saying theirs, it's not mine, because mine's, like you said, it's claimed. It's my party's. And now he will
Shatter.
he will try to shatter the voodoo dolls.
This is kind of like classic Fenrir now.
AOE, man.
One of the groups
It's 10
is
foot.
10 feet. It's a
Okay.
10 feet spear.
Sphere radius.
Radius, thank you. It's
Mhm.
radius. It's a 10-foot radius. So a sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from my point of choice within range. So it's a 60-foot range. We're 55 feet. No, I'm 10 feet behind. So they're 20 feet, so we're 30 feet away.
Okay.
If I did the math right.
And you're trying to group as many of them as you can.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you can pretty much hit any group. We'll say that one group is a group of 7. There's a group of 4 you could hit. Making sure I get my numbers right. So pretty much your biggest group that you could hit is probably about 8. Which I'm guessing you'd want to
Okay, yeah, I'd probably go after the biggest group.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And they have to make a con save.
Constitution save of 15. And they take, well,
They fail.
they take 10 damage.
Okay. You just see this big group just go and disappear.
I'm just gonna look back up any. Be like, why am I even here?
Throw your daggers. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Okay, so to reestablish how many you have left, Roscoe, since it's your turn up, you got 13 left.
How many of those are the OGs and how many are rookies?
8 of them respawned, the respawned ones. And so 7 of them, or sorry, not 7, 5 of them are the originals.
So I'm just gonna work my way through the OGs, and I'll throw just the next one in line. I guess that is, an original.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's the damage. I should roll the dice itself first. It's 15 to hit.
That is a hit.
It's a max damage of 8.
8. Okay, that one is still standing.
It's a 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
5 more damage.
Okay, that one out of existence.
Does it respoof?
Does not respoof.
My turn.
Your turn, Boudreaux.
I use my crossbow and shoot the one that is closest. I know I roll a d20.
And add your dexterity
10.
and your proficiency.
16.
That is a hit.
6 damage.
Okay. It's still up.
That's my turn.
Awesome. Tick.
I am going to just pop out and shoot again.
Bang, bang. And you going after respawns or
Yes.
originals? Okay.
No, response.
Okay.
So it's a dirty 20.
Okay.
And I can use the sneak attack again on it, or no?
Yes.
Sweet.
Anytime you get advantage, you add sneak attack.
18 damage.
Okay. You see a group of them. Group of 3. Keth stays. Delvin stays. Hurla pokes out. She's going to go after some of the originals.
Oh, can I hide again?
Yeah.
It's a 13, David.
Okay, you are hidden. Okay, Hurla does 9 damage, and she went after the same one Boudreaux did. And finishes taking that one out with a poof. And nothing happens. Okay, it is their turn now. And you have about 4, Boudreaux, you have about 4 of them that are in your vines.
Got it.
What damage do they take?
They take 2d4 piercing for every 5 feet.
Okay, go ahead and roll me
6.
6. Roll it again.
3.
Okay, you see those 4.
Oh, yeah!
That gets rid of them. So now there is 3 more. And they move 5 feet closer. So now they are 15 feet away from you guys. The Will-O-Wisps are floating around. They seem to be floating around Fenrir. But as the voodoo dolls kind of poof out of existence, they seem to go back towards, making their way back towards the forest line. Initiative time.
Dun, 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 dun.
I got a 4.
So I will roll the big guy or the one ring.
The one ring. Rule them all.
That is also a 4.
Dice off.
Bam. Rola Juan.
A trace.
Okay, you guys are up again.
Same order.
Say, and I'm pretty much going to say with everybody shooting at them and doing their stuff, you pretty much wipe them out.
Got it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
How did you claim my soul?
The
Wisps?
The wisps kind of like circle up, and as they kind of circle up, and this is for everyone to see, they make a circle, kind of like a small tight circle. There's 5 of them, but they seem to encircle a scarecrow that you, Fenrir, recognize. And then the lights go out. And that is where we're going to end this episode. Thank you guys for listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. This is an extra long one for you, so hopefully you enjoyed this little battle that we had. Woo! I know I was stressed out. Thank you to D.A. Nichols for writing our songs and music for this show that we have. Please go support her on her TTRPG. Shields of Power is her TTRPG, and you can find that at drivethroughrpg.com. Also, special thanks to Coltrane Compositions for remastering our music, our theme song. And go check out his extra tracks that he has. He has fantasy, he has sci-fi, a lot of varieties of music that you can play in your TTRPG games, and even contract him to write a custom one for you. Check out his stuff at coltranecompositions.com. Another special thanks to Realmwalker, freesound.org, Monument Studios, and Tabletop Audio for extra music and sounds that we have in this show. I am DM Dave, and to the right I have
Fenrir.
Roscoe.
Hidden tip.
Boudreaux. And Henley.
And until next time, we unroll the scroll to tell the tale.
Bye.
Then it
Check.
Checkity, check,
Good.
check, checkity, check, check, checkity, check, check,
Ah! Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree.
There you go.
check. Aye. Just kidding.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim charoo.
I'll eat a pony and you too.
And then make him glue.
Oh.
No.
That's really.
Jello!
It was all Jello.
15, right? Is that what we're going by?
Oh,
Technically.
Because of
more
daylight
D&D
saving.
tonight.
No, I can't do more. I'm hitting a wall. Even with the amount of caffeine.
More Diablo tonight.
Well, that hits.
And a natural 20 for that one.
She finally took some damage.
Hey, I take damage.
Evan has a question.
That does account for the overgrowth, right?
Ooh, no.
Their movement.
No. I did not account for that. Thank
David.
you for the reminder.
It's hard
For the
managing
save.
this many.
I'm bored. No,
Where's
I'm
the
just
dog?
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You're,
David.
you're
Did you bring your dog?
bored, so you let out a toot.
You stop stepping
Am I
on talk over
farting
there,
because I'm
G.
bored?
Yes, the answer's yes.
Okay. Casting poison spray over there. I'm just glad I'm 10 feet away, so it
I was
doesn't
like, you're
affect
out
me.
of range, David.
I'm out of range.
I am not.
Anyways, Henley, you are up.
Okay.